about the 8 steps of medical writing. So what are the 8 crucial steps which are involved in medical writing? That is that you have to get focused, you have to choose a field like in which you have to do the writing, collect knowledge accordingly, explore the relevant resources, understanding of terms and terminologies is very important, appropriate language, then you have to write a systematic content, and then your document will be get accepted. So first we'll discuss about these crucial steps in detail. So first is get focused. Okay, so now there are that you should have a strong writing background before decide to write a piece of medical content. So as I said that before going into the profession of writing, okay, you should develop those writing skills in you, and that can be easily developed when you adopt this writing in your daily life routine. Okay, so the first of 8 essential measures of medical writing is to foster a sense of accountability for providing readers and viewers with accurate and reliable information. Okay, so first thing which you have to develop in you, that always whenever you are asked to write any content, any document, so always your first and the foremost priority should be that you have to provide the that you have to provide them, your readers, with the most accurate and with the most reliable information. Do not write or present any incorrect information or any information which you are not which is not evident, or if you're not confirmed that whether this information is correct or not, if you're not confirmed that this information is correct or not, then do not write that information in your document. Okay, but do not write any kind of untrue, unreliable information in your document. In order to create trustworthy and genuine documents, the medical writer will need to possess some determined talents. The following diagram shows the skill sets which you must have. Like you should be, first is you should have analytical skills. Analytical skills means like how to do the quality assessment of the data. Quality assessment or the critical appraisal of a data is a very important task or very important thing which you have to do when you are, suppose if you have searched a literature and you have to do the quality assessment of that literature, means like whether this literature is having any information which is relevant to your topic or not, whether this information, what are the weakness and what are the strength of this literature, what are the limitations does this literature as having, whether this literature is able to add in something, or this research is able to add on something to the medical science, to the public health or not, or whether this is just a duplication of any other research which is done. So those quality assessment abilities, those analytical skills you should have that. So on the base, with the use of those analytical skills, you can judge a literature, you can give your opinion on a particular article, like whether this article is good or not, whether this article is worth reading or not. Then competitive yet adaptive. Now what happens whenever you are writing any article, there are many things which comes as a hurdle. Like for example, first is the time. Okay, because medical writing, like writing any document, it takes a lot of time. Why? Because you have to search for the information, then from that information you have to come up with the relevant information, then you have to summarize that information, then you have to review your article. So there are various steps which you have to follow. Okay, and so whenever any article, whenever any assignment is provided to you, it always comes with a timeline. Like you have 1 week time to complete this. There is always a time frame. Okay, so you have to do the time management. Okay, so you should be adaptive to that environment. Now suppose sometimes what happens, you keep on writing a particular type of document, so you become that becomes your comfort zone. Okay, but then there is something which comes up more challenging to you, and so you should be well prepared that yes, I will take that and I will do that. You should be confident. Okay, you should not always work in your comfort zone, because if you will work in your comfort zone, you will never grow in the field of medical writing. If you want to grow professionally as well as financially, so you have to increase your area. Okay, like yes, I can write this document also, like I can write review article also, I can write research article also, I can write promotional content also, I can write academic content also. So you have to be competitive, because this is a scenario, this is a, like nowadays there's a lot of competition in the field of medical writing. Okay, and also you should be adaptive. Like if you like you should work, you should be able to work as a freelancer, as well as you should be able to work across a team also. You should have good time management skills, team management skills, and also you should be adept to a particular challenge or to a particular change. Then there should be consistency in expressions. Now, consistency in expressions is very important. Like you should have a way of expressing something. You should have a proper writing style, okay, which you should follow and which should be seen in all your documents, whatever type of documents you are writing. Okay, suppose for example, if I am writing any document and now my pattern of writing or my pattern of expressing that that document, that I always like to maintain a logical flow of information in my document. So whatever document which is written by me, you will see that always that there is a linear and a logical flow of information. Like for example, when I write about a disease, so I always write about the disease first, like what is that disease, how it is caused, what are the symptoms, what are the signs and symptoms, how it will be diagnosed, what are the alarming signs, at what stage you should go to you have to visit a doctor, what are the complications which are associated with that disease, and then what are the best treatment which can be which are there for this process, for this, and how I can be prevented from that disease. So there should be, and if I'll write about any of my document, so there should always be a flow of linear flow of information or logical flow of information, where I'll start from scratch, from a very minimum information, and then I broaden my information, then I move towards a broader context, and then I'll provide that information in that way. Okay, so that there should be a pattern which you should follow when you are writing any document, that we will discuss when we will discuss the other modules. Then flawless domain knowledge. So your domain knowledge should always be up to date. Okay, you should be up to date, updated. What is going on? What are the new things which are coming up? What are the new discoveries which are done? What is going on in the field of medical, or in the medical field, in the pharmaceutical field? What are the new drugs which are being discovered? What are the researches which are going on? And of course, if you choose to work in a particular field, so you should become the expert of that field. Okay, suppose if I choose to work in the clinical research field as a medical writer, then I should know about clinical research also. I should have, whether it is related to me or not, I should have knowledge about filings, documenting, filings, dossier preparation, everything I should know, because that can come up, that will be helpful for me to at any stage. Okay, so that is also important. Then inquisitive mind, always an urge to learn something new, keep yourself updated. This is when you have that urge to learn something new, always you are interested to know about something, then it will always help you to keep yourself updated. Okay, if now it should not always be like this. Okay, I have done my graduation, my post graduation, that's it. Now my learning process is stopped. Learning process never stops, especially when you are in a healthcare field, because or a pharmaceutical field, because every time there are new guidelines which are coming up, old ones gets updated, new amendments are done, new discoveries are there, something which gets changed. Okay, so you should always have an urge to learn, always be curious to know about something. Okay, then next is journalistic skills, because now the medical writers are also involved in writing the medical news, or medical news articles, medical newsletters. So you should have those journalistic skills also, like you can meet someone, you can interview them, you can ask for their opinion, and then you can include it in your article. So those journalistic skills also you should have. Then multitasking. So the medical writers, they should be multitasking or multitaskers, because at single time you have to do many things. Okay, like you have to search for the, sometimes you're searching for the articles also, you are helping your colleagues also, you are you're writing also. There are many things which you have to do because of the time, because you have very limited time to submit or to write a document. So you have to be a multitasker. Then precision in writing means that your writing skill should be very good. You should have that precision which you can, so that you can, with your writing, you can impress someone, you can impress your readers, you can like you can attract your readers, that they should come again and again to read the documents which are written by you. Then a medical writer, they should always be self motivated. Nobody, because medical writing, when you do it in a long term, it becomes a very, very, very boring work, like searching the information, writing it, searching the information, writing it. So there are some things, like make it a habit of reading. Okay, reading new information, meeting new persons, going to the webinars, attending the webinars, conferences and all. Subscribe to different societies so you can connect with different peoples, especially who are from this field, so which keep you self motivated. You will always be motivated if you and when you are always motivated, then it is very then it becomes obvious that you come up with the content, come up with the information which is something new. Okay, it is, otherwise it will look like that you are just repeating the information, or taking the information from similar type of sources, from similar databases. You're not learning anything new. So you have to keep yourself motivated every time if you're working in this field of medical writing. Okay. Okay, so the next step is choose a field. Now it is when we discuss in the coming slide. So there are two main fields which are related to medical writing, or you can say that medical writing is broadly classified into two fields, that is regulatory writing and scientific writing. Okay, so in regulatory writing and scientific writing, you have to choose like in which field you have to work in, because both these fields, whether it is regulatory writing or scientific writing, or a broad term if I want to use, then I'll use instead of scientific writing is medical communication. Okay, so scientific medical writing, this regulatory writing is related to writing the documents which is for drug registration and drug approval purpose. Then scientific writing or medical communication is a field where you are communicating the information. It can be through variety of documents, like it can be through a research article, it can be through a review article or a scientific news, or any document which is published on a website, academic content, promotional content, where you are communicating some information. Okay, so this is called as medical communication field. So generally, if you read somewhere also in certain books or in articles, so medical writing is broadly classified into two categories, that is regulatory writing and medical communication. So it is important for a medical writer that they should understand, first they should have understanding of both the fields or both the categories, that is what is regulatory writing, what are the documentation which is done in regulatory writing, what are the guidelines which are involved, where they can work, like which are the organizations which are available to them where they can work as a regulatory writer. Then after that, they have a medical communication field also, like where they are involved in scientific writing, news writing, or promotional health, medical marketing, health promotional writing. So like these are the various options available to them. So now they should choose like whether they want to work in regulatory writing or they want to work in medical communication. Then they should understand that in medical communication, regulatory writing also, they have like clinical research where they can work. Then they have pharmaceutical fields, pharmaceutical companies or biotechnological companies where they can work they can work with them as a medical writer. Then they should choose then after that there is narrative writing, aggregate report writing, clinical evaluation report writing. So there are various fields in such categories also. In those categories also, they are again divided into subfields where a medical writer can work. So if you want to give your precision in a one field, then you have to decide that where you have to work. And when you choose to work, suppose if I choose to work in a like I'm interested in the field of scientific writing, so I will be involved in writing the review and the research articles. Then familiarity with the subject, familiarity with the topic, with the disease and everything, a subject matter is very also again, which is very important. Okay, so a medical field you choose is very important. Disease management, medical education, medical training, and health monitoring may be noteworthy fields. It is always advised to choose a subject matter that you are familiar with. Any medical field can be fatally unfocused in. Therefore, it is crucial that the medical writer has a solid foundation in the in the field of medical expertise and a grasp of their audience. So if you choose a field, what will happen in choosing a field? Suppose if I choose a field of medical writing, or like for example, scientific writing, so eventually and gradually I'll develop my skills in that only. I have a set profession and a set field, a set profession, that yes, I can say that I'm a scientific writer. Rather than saying medical writer, I'll say that I'm a scientific writer and I write the documents, research and review related articles in the pharmaceutical field or in the medical field. So okay, so that will be my job description. But if you are into many things, then that the phrase is that jack of all trades, master of none. It will be so it will happen, or it will land you to a similar situation where because you're working into different categories, into different field, then in that case what happens, you will never attain an expertise in a particular field. And attaining an experience for expertise, not experience but a expertise, when you want to sustain for a long term in this field of medical writing, is very important. Like if I'm into a regulatory writing, I'll say that I'm a regulatory writer, I'm a narrative writer, I'm an aggregate report writer. So this introduction, like if you see the jobs also, so now there are job openings like that. If they are saying medical writing, then they will specify the field as well, that they want a narrative writer, they want a regulatory writer, they want a scientific writer. So that will also be specified if you'll go through the job openings as well. So now it is very important that you should focus yourself, like when you will complete this course, you will be introduced to all the fields which are related to medical writing, where you can work as a medical writer, what is regulatory writing, what is medical communication, everything will be covered, everything is covered in this. So you have now, after that, after knowing about all the fields, from your whatever your scientific whatever your educational background is, from that you can decide that in which field you should go on, and then you will focus on that particular area, on that particular field only. So it is very important. So if you want to progress your career, or you want to grow financially, professionally, you want to progress in the field of medical writing, and then if you write a certain kind of documents, then also you have a grasp of the audience as well, because understanding your readers, understanding your audience is also very important. Okay, because if you have an understanding of your audience, you will understand that what will be their education level. For example, if I am writing a research article, or if I'm writing a review article, then it's not a review article, especially if I'm writing a research article, then I understand that my major audience who will read this research article will be the researchers, scientists, doctors, healthcare professionals, or the students who are from the same field, who are doing their academic education in the same field. Okay, so I will write that document in that way only. But suppose, for example, if I'm writing an educational, for example, if I'm writing an promotional, health promotional content, or about a disease, or I'm writing a blog, that means that my major audience will be the lay audience, means they are generally from the non-scientific background, maybe they are from non-medical field, because they will be reading my article to understand more about that particular disease or to that particular therapy, because they are not from that scientific background. So that means they are not knowing it. Okay, so I will write it in a very easy, in a very simple language, so that they can easily understand it. Avoid using much technical terms. In case if I'm using the technical terms, I will always interpret, I will try to interpret or I will write the meaning of that technical term in a bracket, so that the readers can easily understand it. So when you choose, so choosing a field has these benefits, like I'll build up an expertise in long, which will help me in a longer term to sustain in this field, and also I'll have a grasp I'll have a grasp of my audience also, so that I will write the document in that way always. Okay. Domain of medical knowledge. Okay. So domain of medical knowledge means, like, as we have discussed this earlier as well, when you're doing medical writing or when you want to enter into the field of medical writing, therapeutic knowledge, medical knowledge, terminologies, regulations, everything, it is very important. In case if you are specifically interested to work as a regulatory writer, then in that case you should have proper knowledge about a proper knowledge about, like, what are the medical what are the regulatory guidelines, what are the content, or how the form, what is the format which is followed, which guidelines you have to follow. So that domain knowledge is very important. Okay. So the medical writers need to be well versed in a wide range of therapeutic disciplines. The medical writer needs to be proficient in the scientific, regulatory, and regulations pertaining to the field. The medical guidelines and all the basics to advanced statistical concepts must remain clear to the medical writer. So all these like domain knowledge, general knowledge, that we have already discussed in the previous slides. Okay, in the previous class, that knowledge of therapeutics, knowledge of drug development, regulatory, statistics, it is very important for a person to become a medical writer, because whenever you are writing any document, like if you're writing a scientific writing document, a research paper, or a regulatory research paper, or a review article, so in that case you should know that what is a research, how the research is done, what is a research study, how to do the interpretation, and like the interpretation of the data, and how the statistical analysis is done. So that all that is very important. If you're interested to work as a professional, like as a regulatory writer, so in that case you should be knowing about, you must know, you should have knowledge about what is you should have knowledge about the drug development process, clinical research, pharmacovigilance, different documents which are made in the clinical research process, and other regulatory documents. So that is important. The next is recognizing the readers. Okay. So the ability of the medical writer is to provide a thorough article to regulators, physicians, scientists, specialist, patients, and even non-professional is crucial. Now, recognizing the readers means the knowledge of readers. Knowing your readers is very important, because now when you're writing any medical, like any document you're writing, suppose you're writing any article, review article, so you are not writing it for yourself, you're writing for others, you're writing it for the reader. So when your content, when that article, it will be published digitally, or it will be published in any of the journals, so the readers will read it. Now, when we talk about the readers, so there are variety of readers. Okay, this document is not only to a particular person or to a particular community. They can be the regulators. Now, the regulators, they are especially for the regulatory writing documents, but they can be the physicians, scientists, other specialists, they can be the patients, and sometimes they are non-professionals, like lay audience, those who are not those who do not belong to this particular field, to the scientific field or to the medical field. They are also reading your article or your document. So in that case, you should know that who is your major audience. Okay, like suppose for example, if you're writing a research article, so if the research article is, most probably it is read by the doctors, it will be read by the other researchers, scientists, and students, academic professionals. But suppose for example you're writing a health promotional content, so that health promotional content will be generally, most probably it will be written by the it will be read by the patients, lay audience, non-professionals. So in that case, suppose if you're writing a health promotional content, so you have to keep in your mind that your audience is a lay audience, or maybe they are not qualified in this particular area. So you have to keep in mind that how you have to present the documents. You should write it in a very easy and a simple language, simple formatting should be there so that they can easily understand it. On the other hand, if you're writing a research paper and you know it is for the scientists, it is for the other researchers, it is for the doctors or the students, academic professionals, so in that case you have to understand that now you can use the technical terms, because the major audience to read this document will be the audience or the readers who belong to the same field. Okay, that's why they are reading that research article. If I'm not from a medical background, or if I'm not willing to do any research or anything, then I will not read any of the article. I will look for easy summarized options or easy summarized document for that if I want to get some information, if I'm looking for some information. So this knowledge of readers, and this knowledge of readers, of course, you will get to understand, you will understand when you will enter into the field of writing, and also you will what type of documents you have to write. So that also separates the audience. Okay, so there will always be a major audience for a document and minor audience for the document. So you have to keep in mind that who is your major audience, and keeping that their requirement and everything, then you have to write a document. Okay, so this is very important to understand your readers. What is your readers qualification, what are the things they are wanting or they want to be there in an article. So when you are writing any article, you have to think from the perspective of the readers. Like suppose if I'm searching for any article, so what are the questions which are coming in my mind of what will be my purpose for searching an article? So that you have to keep in mind, and then only you have to write an article in the form that you're giving the answers to those questions to the readers. Because when the readers, they search for any document, when they search for any article, they also have the same questions going on in their mind, and to get the answer of these questions only, they look for the articles. Okay, so that's why it is very important. And when you write from the perspective of the readers, your article, your document, it becomes more acceptable, and always you will get the positive feedback from your readers. Okay, the next is collect knowledge. Now whenever you have to write a document, you have to collect the knowledge from various sources. Okay, so now you should know that what are the sources from where you will get the accurate information. So reading voraciously is necessary for the process of gathering pertinent data and information about the particular area of healthcare. You must educate yourself in the chosen field in order to comprehend how it operates. The medical writer should be able to uphold the accuracy of the gathered medical data and provide readers with accurate information under this condition. So now when you are working as a medical writer, you should not only be a medical writer, but you should also be a good reader. Because when you read, especially when you read the articles which are published, review articles or research articles, or any content which is also published on the web pages, you can go through the videos also. So when you do this, you collect a lot of information. Okay, so like this reading process should not only be confined to a period when you're writing anything. No, if you're not writing, even then you should read the documents. You can, any topic you can choose, and on that you start reading, collect the updated information, because it is very important. And this particular exercise will also help you to enhance your knowledge as well as to enhance your literature searching skills. You will be knowing that which are the platforms or which are the databases from where you can gather the accurate information, most accurate information, where the good quality content is available. So when you start writing, or whenever you are writing any document, your lot of time will get, you will save a lot of time, because now you do not have to search for the good articles, like good platforms where you can get the articles. You will be knowing in your mind that yes, this is the database, or this is the platform where I can get good articles, and you directly jump on that and you start your searching process. And you first, before searching anything, strategize your process, which is very important. Like come up with the keywords, decide the keywords. You can decide on your own, or you can decide it with your client, or if you're working in a team, then you can decide with your team that what are the keywords which are to be used for searching this particular information, and search from the keywords. Okay, do not copy and paste the full title and then search it. No, search from the keywords, because when you search from the keywords, it will help you to come up with the most accurate and the most relevant information which you will be requiring for writing your article. So for writing any document, it is not important to only to writing will for writing you need the information, then the information you'll get from various platforms. And so always keep it a habit of reading as well. Go through various articles. If you find any article, if you find that it is important, it contains a lot of information which I can use further, so always save that article, or either you can write down the important points somewhere in a word file or in a notebook, whatever option is convenient to you. So you can write that important information if you want. Otherwise, you can just save this so that you can use it later. And one way of saving these article, or you can organize them, like suppose you read any article related to diabetes, so make a folder named as diabetes articles, and all the articles which you'll find related to diabetes you can save in one folder. So whenever, if any time, if you'll get any article or any assignment that you have to do which is related to diabetes, or which is related to anti-diabetic drug or anything related to diabetes, so you can search the article from those folders which you have already searched. In case if you do not get any relevant information from those articles which you have saved, then you can again start your searching process. So this is the benefit of reading, saving. So this will save you a lot of time when you are actually writing any document. So now from today onwards, make it a habit that at least one article you read in a day. It can be from any area, like from whichever field you are. If you can read it from you can read it related to pharmaceutical field, you can relate it, you can any topic you can choose, like virology you can choose diabetes, you can choose hypertension, any topic you can choose. You can choose articles on the social problems, social causes which are going on in our country or anywhere in the world, or whatever you think is trending. Okay, you search your art, like suppose for example nowadays H3N2 influenza virus. So you can search articles relevant to it, make it a folder in your system that you have all the articles related to this particular topic here saved in this folder. So maybe in future, if you get any assignment, if you get any topic from your client which is related to this topic, so first you can search from the articles which you have saved, and also it will enhance your knowledge. Always when you read any article, anything which is from your subject area, from your expertise area, so you will always gather, it will also help you to keep yourself updated. And the more you read, the more knowledge you will get. So it is not there is nothing bad in reading anything. It will always increase your knowledge, enhance your knowledge. So it is a very good exercise to do in a day. At least choose one article, read that article in a day, and the same summary of the same article you can write. So your reading skills, your writing skills, both the skills will be enhanced. Okay, then you have next the accuracy of medical data. Now only collecting the information blindly is harmful. Okay, you have to check the accuracy of the data, of the information which you have collected, whether this information is correct or not, it is true or not. Okay, so whatever medical data you have, whatever information you have, whether it is a statistical information, anything, you should be confident or that this information is correct, and that confidence you will gain when you will present the information, when you will check or verify that information, make that information more evident, and then you will have to represent it in your or write in your article. So the data pertaining to the specific medical sector must be skillfully integrated. The key in this case is the selection of pertinent information. The medical writer must be knowledgeable enough to uphold the clinical data's absolute accuracy and security. Now, whenever any medical data is provided to you, or whenever you collect that information, so first of all, the accuracy of that information can be checked when you are yourself knowledgeable in that particular field. Okay, if you are not knowledgeable in that field, whatever information comes to you, or whatever information you will get from the article, you will think that this information is correct because it is published in an article, but that is not true. Sometimes a lot of information which is not verified, which is not evident, they are also published in the articles. So always keep this in mind, that before including or before writing any information in your article, you have to first verify that information. You have to first check the accuracy of that information, and then only you will be including that information in your article first thing. The next thing is that a lot of medical data, when you're writing a scientific document, or you're writing the document like regulatory document, a lot of confidential information is shared with you. The medical data which is shared with you, that is also confidential. You cannot share it with anyone. So you have to keep the security of that data also, so that the data from you, it should not go anywhere to any other person, or it should not go anywhere. Otherwise it will be a offense, or it may lead to you in any kind of legality. Or also, if you're sharing any inaccurate information in your article, in your document, that is also wrong. You should not do that, because that knowledge which you're sharing, it is just a knowledge transfer process. The knowledge which you have gained from somewhere else, you are sharing that information to make others knowledgeable. Okay, so anything wrong, anything not, which is not true, which is not evident, which is not verified, that should not go further. It should be stopped there only. So whenever you're writing any document, keep this in mind, that the medical data information, whichever from wherever you're getting, it should be accurate, and you should secure that information, and then only you should write any document. Then providing the latest medical innovations. Okay, so now medical field is not a field where one thing which is done and now then after that no innovation will be done, it will be stopped. No, now we all know. Suppose we'll take an example of any disease. Suppose, for example, hypertension is a disease which is, the patients are suffering from ages, and we have more advanced treatment nowadays. But now more and more researches are done in this field also. So these medical innovations, they have no stop point. They are continued, and they will be continued till eternity. Okay, every time. Now we are saying that artificial intelligence, now you must be reading, you have read the articles related to that also, that artificial intelligence are now incorporated into the medical sector. And we have various kind of treatments, we have various kind of diagnostic tests, medical devices, treatments, therapies available, by which we can treat a patient. And maybe they are costly, but we have that option. Like if somebody, if they have that financial those finances to take that treatment, so that they can afford it. If they can afford it, they can take it. They are costly, but yes, we have those treatment, we have those skilled professionals who can perform it, who can do that treatment or do that surgery by the help of artificial intelligence. Then we have various technologies developed, and by which we have by which, with the help of those technologies, we have successfully made various vaccines, various hormones, various cytokines. Well, mostly the biopharmaceutical or the biological products are being used or made using these technologies. So you have to keep yourself updated, and whenever you're writing any article, that updated information also you can share in your article at the end in a paragraph, that what is the future of this particular field, what is the other kind of researches which are also going on. Okay, so the medical writer must include all facts pertaining to ways to improve one's health. The medical writer must be proficient at conveying knowledge to the most recent medical inventions in order to achieve this goal. It is strongly advised that medical writers regularly participate in research-based online seminars and training sessions. So now how you will get this updated knowledge? What are the breakthroughs? What are the innovations which are going on in the medical field? So by attending the research seminars, training sessions, conferences, so you can subscribe to various journals, like 2 to 3 journals you should subscribe, so that whenever they are published, like monthly, quarterly, at whatever their time they are following, so whatever articles are published, the articles are the recent studies, recent researches which are done. So that information you will get. You can join various societies so that you can get knowledge about various various conferences which are being done, webinars which are being done, and then you can attend those conferences. So you will also get a chance to meet new people, new scientists, new researchers. Maybe you can contact them, you can take their email ID. So afterwards, if sometimes it is required, you can contact them, or other professionals you will meet there, and then you will come to know something new which is going on, and that you can add in your article when you are writing it. And also, you not from only from the seminars or from these conferences or from the general subscriptions, there are other platforms also, like if you join various societies, so that is which is a knowledge sharing platform, where others also share their knowledge, whatever they know, whatever articles, if they have got any article which is very interesting, which contains something new information, if it is there in that article, they will share that on their platform, so you can go through that information as well. And then after that, there are other platforms also, for like if you do not want to take the subscription, but at least you can visit to these databases, and you will come to know that what are the recent articles which are published, what is the recent things which are recent experiments, recent researches which are going on. Like you can read about the artificial intelligence in healthcare, nanotechnology, nanomedicines, and what are the breakthroughs which are going on in cancer treatment. And also that you can that knowledge at least you should have, and that knowledge you should convey in your, try to convey in your article if possible, so that it can open, or it so the readers, when they are reading it, they can have that knowledge, that what are the recent or what are the innovations which are going on in this particular field. Okay, understood?